Have you ever stopped and watched your dog sleeping, wondering, why is it lying like that? Is it curled up like a donut, stretching out spontaneously, or even lying on your shirt? Could there be something deeper behind it? Behind every sleeping position of a dog is a silent message. Not only that, each sleeping pose reflects the activity of their nervous system, circulation, respiration, and temperature regulation. Deep biological factors that aren't always easy to see. Some positions show absolute trust, others reflect stress, or simply serve as a way for them to stay warm. Today, we will decode these familiar sleeping positions to understand more about your beloved four-legged friend's personality, emotions, and even their health. Additionally, we will explore the physiological mechanisms and scientific reasons behind each position. Because how dogs sleep is not just a habit, but a biological reflex tied to their nervous system, thermoregulation, and the sense of safety in their environment. One of the most common sleeping positions is when a dog curls up into a small donut shape. Their head touches the tail, their legs tucked in neatly, looking as if they are peacefully sleeping in a soft, fluffy bed. This is a position chosen by many wild animals to keep warm and protect vital organs. When dogs curl up, they reduce the surface area exposed to the air, helping to maintain a stable body temperature. The belly, where many internal organs are located, is naturally protected by this closed posture, making them feel safer while sleeping. If you notice your dog often sleeps like this on chilly days, don't worry too much. It's just their way of seeking warmth and security. And if you find this information useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more heartfelt and insightful shares about the world of dogs. But remember, even in sleep, their survival instincts are quietly at work. On the other hand, if you catch your dog lying on their back with their legs spread out, you're witnessing one of the cutest yet strangest sleeping positions, often called the crazy legs position, but in the dog world, it's a declaration of trust. The belly, the most vulnerable area, is fully exposed. This is their way of saying, I feel completely safe here. This position also shows that the dog is trying to cool down, as the belly and paws are the most effective areas for heat dissipation. In fact, dogs have very few sweat glands, mostly concentrated on their paws, so stretching out or lying on their back helps speed up the cooling process, especially on hot days. Dogs who love to sleep this way often have independent, calm personalities and are comfortable with everything around them. How about your dog? Feel free to share the most unusual or funny sleeping position you've seen them in the comments. Maybe we'll discover a unique sleep pose that only your dog has. And if one day you notice your dog sleeping pressed up against you or lying with its back against another dog, congratulations, you are part of the pack. This affectionate sleeping position often traces back to their early days as puppies, when they would cuddle up to their mother and siblings for warmth. As adults, they continue this behavior as a loving habit. If your dog sleeps with its back against you, it's not just seeking warmth, it's a message. You are my family. The Superman sleep position, where the dog lies on its belly with both front and back legs stretched out, as if flying, often brings a smile to those who see it. But behind this quirky pose is an interesting feature. This is a position from which dogs can spring into action immediately if needed. You'll typically see them sleeping like this during the day, rarely at night. This suggests that they are in a playful state, not wanting to miss any fun moments. If you see this position, try inviting them to a playful game. You may be greeted with a wagging tail in excitement. And then there are times when you find your dog lying on its side, breathing evenly, with eyes half closed. The side sleeping position is a sign of total relaxation. According to veterinarians, This is when the parasympathetic nervous system is highly active, helping the dog relax, reduce its heart rate, and easily enter the REM sleep cycle, deep sleep, where the brain processes memories and emotions. No anxiety, no stress, just a dog enjoying a sweet sleep in safety. Dogs who have this sleeping habit are often very affectionate, deeply bonded with their owners, and completely trust their living environment. Meanwhile, the lion position, where the dog lies on its belly, head held high, and legs curled, carries a different meaning. This is a resting position, not a deep sleep. At this time, the sympathetic nervous system remains alert, keeping the muscles in a ready-to-react state. That's why, in this position, dogs can spring into action immediately if they hear a noise or sense something unusual around them. The muscles are slightly tense, the mind is alert. Your dog may be feeling stressed or simply not ready to fall into deep sleep. Watch closely. If this position lasts for a while, they might be worried about something, and you could be the one to help them feel more at ease. Sometimes, you may find your dog sleeping on an old shirt or a pair of pants you've just taken off. Don't rush to move them. Your clothes carry a familiar scent, something that makes them feel close to you and less lonely. Sleeping on your clothing is not just about comfort. It's also their way of keeping you near, even when you're not home. This is one of the sweetest ways dogs express their love. Meanwhile, the lion position, where the dog lies on its belly, head held high and legs curled, carries a different meaning. This is a resting position, not a deep sleep. At this time, the sympathetic nervous system remains alert, keeping the muscles in a ready-to-react state. That's why, in this position, dogs can spring into action immediately if they hear a noise or sense something unusual around them. The muscles are slightly tense, the mind is alert. Your dog may be feeling stressed or simply not ready to fall into deep sleep. Watch closely. If this position lasts for a while, they might be worried about something, and you could be the one to help them feel more at ease. Sometimes, you may find your dog sleeping on an old shirt or a pair of pants you've just taken off. Don't rush to move them. Your clothes carry a familiar scent, something that makes them feel close to you and less lonely. Sleeping on your clothing is not just about comfort. It's also their way of keeping you near, even when you're not home. This is one of the sweetest ways dogs express their love. Before going to sleep, you might also see your dog digging into the blanket or running in circles around the bed, as if searching for the perfect spot. This behavior dates back to their ancestors. Wild dogs would trample the grass or dig a den before settling down. Today, in the modern world, that instinct is still alive. It's not an odd behavior, but rather an ancient ritual in preparation for a peaceful sleep. And then, there are the rarer positions, but just as fascinating. For example, the face-in-pillow position, when a dog buries its nose and face into the blanket, mattress, or the corner of the sofa. It may look funny, but this behavior often occurs when a dog is feeling tired and wants to rest without being disturbed. It could also be their way of self-soothing when they feel pressure from the environment around them. Or perhaps you've seen your dog sleeping with half of its body on the bed and the other half hanging off the side. This half-hearted position reveals something quite interesting. Your dog is in a state of alertness. They're not in a deep sleep, keeping the lower part of their body ready to rise, prepared in case something unexpected happens. Another position that might make you smile is when they sleep while covering their eyes. They lift their paw or bury their muzzle into their paw as if shielding their eyes from the light. This is a sign that the dog is trying to create a darker, quieter space to sleep better, especially when there's light or noise around them. And finally, some dogs prefer to sleep in a position, standing up. They lean against the wall, with their legs slightly curled, their head nodding, looking like someone dozing off while still sitting at their desk. Though rare, this position often shows that the dog is very sleepy, but still trying to maintain an alert posture, possibly because the environment is not yet safe enough for them to fully relax. Each sleeping position, every little behavior that might seem meaningless. In fact, these are signs that show how your dog perceives the world. So, how does your dog usually sleep? Have you ever come across a funny sleeping position that we haven't mentioned? Feel free to share your story in the comments. And if you want to uncover more emotional secrets behind each small behavior of dogs, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more fascinating content waiting for you ahead.